Howdy guys, welcome back to Deal by Deal episode number 2. So in this deal, this was a mobile home in a park in Anchorage in 2006. So this was right after I bought the deal in episode 1, which I still owned and lived in that deal at the time. We moved right in and bought this double wide. It's actually a tri-fold, which they don't really make anymore, but basically is a very big mobile home in very rough condition. He had a lot of parts and pieces left lying around to help us complete it, but it was mostly just in the way. So we bought this mobile home for $13,000 cash, and I say we because I partnered with my parents on that one before I was better at raising private capital or doing more owner finance and other creative deals. A great strategy to get into a property is to partner with somebody that might have the money that you don't have. So I had a good amount of money, but we went 50-50 on the cash to get into it. It was $13,000 cash to purchase, and we put about another $13,000, which was definitely more than we anticipated, into the repairs and the holding costs until we ended up getting it fixed and resold. So a couple neat things I learned while we were doing this process. One was called Craigslist. So this was in 2006, and I had never heard of the website before. It was pretty popular at the time, but I had never heard of it, and it kind of gained traction in our area even more after that before it eventually phased out. At this time, before this, we were looking for homes in the classifieds in the newspaper, which is where I found this home. And when we were trying to sell them, we're putting ads in the classifieds, which is not very cost effective in the age of the internet, but we're just getting there. So this house was completely full of stuff that this guy thought that he was eventually going to use. The owner actually bought it for his adult son, and he was living there with his family, and the place was not livable. And so he had collected a bunch of windows. He was going to build a greenhouse. He had a bunch of drop ceiling tiles. He had carpet. He had all kinds of stuff except for ambition. He didn't have any ambition. So he just piled up these materials, which were all over the place. So much so that we couldn't, get to work when we started. And a lot of this stuff was good stuff we didn't want to throw away, but it didn't really fit in the house. So we eventually found Craigslist. Somebody told us about Craigslist, and that's how we sold all this stuff. We made quite a bit of money selling, the hot tub and the extra windows and piles of screws that went to guns that we didn't have and all these things. So we made a lot of money and finally freed up a bunch of space. And then eventually we ended up selling the home on Craigslist too. So it was a really cool website there for a while when it was popular. So we learned quite a bit about construction. Didn't do a fantastic job on the place. We were just doing it ourselves from what we could, figure out on this old mobile home. But when we did sell it, we sold it for $42,500 after having about $26,000 into all of our expenses. Now we were into it for all cash, and we sold it on owner finance. And so we charged 12.75% interest, basically because that's what the book told me to charge. So that's what I charged. So we made about $16,500 in the spread. Yes, Atka, I was getting to that. We made another $16,000 in interest over the 6 years. So it brought our total ROI for the project to about 20% over about 6 years. My second deal, really showing the proof of concept on the owner finance sales. Jesus. And so for clarity on that, our total return was about 125% ROI, but you divide that against the 6 years that it took to get all that collected, and it comes out to about a 20% annualized ROI. So that was where it said about the 20% return. Atka says, please like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever else you see your videos, and thank you very much.